Hi, so in this video I'm going to show you how to put fabric on your embroidery hoop. I have two types of fabric here. I've got some fine, thin cotton and I have some thicker weave and thicker, heavier cotton to use as well. So because I do find they are a little bit different. I'm using a beechwood embroidery hoop. I like it better than plastic and bamboo. So I haven't cut them down a size, but I'll start with the thicker fabric. Okay, so what we're going to do is separate our embroidery hoop. You do that by loosening the screw up here, separating it out, and just loosen the screw a little bit more, especially with thicker fabric. And you take the inside hoop, you pop it on the table, and then you pop the fabric over the top of that, and then you get the other hoop and you place it over the top and just pinch it down like that. Okay, so then we need to just pop my hand underneath to hold the bottom hoop and just sort of tighten it away back. Okay, and then just sort of stretch out the fabric, make sure that's flat, tighten it a little bit more. You can just sort of work your way around the hoop, pulling it through, and then just tightening as you go. What I might do though is just cut the excess off. I'm using pinking shears. These have the zigzag cut. It just means that you don't get too many fray lines coming off your fabric as you work. So this doesn't have to be too neat, it all gets tucked away or sewn away later on. Okay, put that away. Alright, so we're going to keep trying to tighten this up because we want that drum sound. See the tightness of the fabric, we want that to be really nice and taut. So, one way that I use, I'll just move the camera over, is the edge of the table, behind the extension cord, and I hold the hoop over the end and I just pull the fabric down, and I find that gets a really tight drum-like fabric. Just make sure the hoop stays down and tighten it again. That's really tight. So this isn't completely necessary, but I just find it a lot easier, I think, than just sort of working your way through around slowly. And there you go. And that is how to put fabric on an embroidery hoop. Well, for thick fabric. I'm going to show you now how to do it for thinner fabric, which is a little different. With this thicker fabric, I have not ironed it. I have not sprayed it with water, none of that. I've just popped it straight on. As you can see, it does not need any ironing. Okay, so now we're going to use the thinner fabric and we're just going to put that into the hoop. So as I mentioned before, I use the pinking shears, so those are the zigzaggy ones, and it's to stop this from happening. I don't know if you can see that, but it's annoying either way. So, right, so same thing as the big one. Pop your bottom hoop down, your inner hoop, sorry, on the bottom. Make sure this is nice and loose. Pop that over the top and tighten it up a little bit, or a lot. Okay, just got to watch for this gathering that happens in here. Just got to pull that fabric. There we go. Alright, so I'm just going to pull the sides. Now, the thinner fabric This one came as sort of a fat square, so it was all folded up and it had fold marks in it. So I did give it a light iron. I do find it a little bit difficult sometimes to get the folds and creases out of the thinner fabric sometimes, especially if it doesn't come off a roll and it's come off a folded square. So what you can do as well is use a bit of water. Just give it a spray. You can see it's sort of quite damp now. And that will just help ease out the wrinkles, so when that does dry, hopefully it's going to be all wrinkle free. So just keep tugging around the edges. There's quite a bit more give to this one. The last thing you want is a soggy embroidery hoop, one that keeps bending and makes it very difficult to actually work on. So tighten that up. There we go. Okay, so that sounds like it's ready. So we're just going to let that dry. What you can do as well is just trim around the edges, because sometimes they get caught when you're working your hand through, the bits of thread get caught around these tails here. Maybe that's just me, but see how you go. You can always trim them off. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how to transfer, or some ways you can transfer a pattern onto your prepped embroidery hoop.